crypto pirates, Hexicans. Welcome to your Discourse Syndicates FN Hangout. I am the captain, your captain, still RG3. Same guy. Been here for 4 plus 5 years now, 4.5 years. Jeez. Turning it on Fridays for you. Welcome, everybody. Let me say hello like traditional YouTuber does, right? Say hello to the chat room. Melf Tony first in and always serving. Good to see you, buddy. Johnny, no good. What's up? Happy Friday to you. Oh, the Stylo is in the house. What's up, Stylo? I like Stylo. Like some Stylo. What's up with you? Sandy Beach, my lady. Welcome, welcome. Let's see. Hey, GM class, where you at? Where you at? It's morning time. You over there in Amsterdam with everybody? Oh no, that's right. You're in Australia, right? They're partying in Amsterdam tonight, from what I understand, from what I've heard. They went from Malta, now they're all in Amsterdam, and the rest of my crew's over there too. So we'll see what happens if I lose any of them. So they're in Amsterdam. Jonathan, what's happening? Yo to you too. Dorsey. Ahoy, Dorsey. Who else is in here? Hey, Smo Spider. SMO Spider. Smo. I like Smo Spider. Who else is here? Ash. What's happening, Ash? Joe Venuto. Hola to you. I come for the alpha and stay for the hopium. Well, let's see if we can try and scrape up a little bit of both. We can sure all use it, right? Right? Eagle Owl and Adam Chadwick. Hope everyone's having a great evening, he says, and so do I. All right. Well, you know what? It's been a week of no socials for me. I've stayed away from social media. Took a break, much needed. I have a family reunion here at my place tomorrow. So I got like family from Kentucky coming out all over the place, Texas, you name it, West Virginia. All my my extremely American family. I come from two worlds. I've got a Native American family, and I have a very lily white French, Polish, straight up, just you name it, backwards ass hillbilly family from Kentucky, Louisiana, Texas, and West Virginia. And then my Indian family, they're all from Louisiana. So I got a mixed bag. It's gonna be an interesting time tomorrow. We're gonna have a good time. I haven't seen some of these people for many, many years. So anyway, so I took a much needed break. Man, when you know, I just so you're Native American. Yeah, I'm Native American. Indian with a feather, not a dot. That's how we say. So anyway, yeah. It's not easy being a half-breed Indian or a half white or half. It's not easy having to live in two cultures like that. The Indian family was harder to actually deal with than my white family. My goodness, yeah, they're pretty rough on their own. Anyway, let's see some stories. Let's tell some stupid stories. Like, so I took the week off and I wanted to relax and just take some time away from all the crypto, all the blood in the streets. I'm tired of mopping up the blood. I'm just tired. Like my mop is just like I'm putting in the bucket and the bucket's still bloody and I'm sloshing it around all over the streets. And it's just, I can't clean these streets, guys. It's just brutal. We're not done yet. We're not done yet. Oh my goodness. Election year, all this crazy stuff going on. Anyway, so I was trying to get all my stuff done, take care of, you know. We have one of these toilet tanks. It's just like always leaking, right? It's always leaking. So always making noise, and fucking thing's been bugging me for months. So it's like the wife finally said, here's the toilet tank stuff to fix it. So of course my as a good ADHDer I am, I procrastinated on it. But anyway, had the stuff there. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna fix the damn freaking toilet. Had to take the tank off, pull the whole thing apart, redo all of the seats and everything, put all the valves and shit in, and got it running. Everything was good. I'm like, cool. All right, done. 3.5 hours fucking around with this toilet. And it's leaking a little bit in the back. I'm like, oh, I got to tighten the tank up. So I go back there and tighten the tank up. It seems dry. I'll give it one more little crank. Snap! Busted the bowl. Back of the bowl breaks. Freaking 3.5 hours worth, all the shit. I got to get up in the morning, go buy a new toilet, and spend the whole day putting in another fucking toilet. Man, what a nightmare. I was supposed to have a nice day off yesterday. Nah. I was messing around with toilet. Should have stayed on social media. If I'd have stayed on social media, I'd have just been on the couch just doing stuff like that instead of messing around with freaking toilets. Anyway, what does that have to do with crypto? It's called real life, guys. It's called real life. Even people in crypto have real life stories and real life things going on. Broken freaking toilets. And I hope that your lives are all doing well out there. It's brutal in these crypto streets for sure. Lots of good news though. Like lots of good news. Like the SEC is like totally done a reversal, flip backwards, leaning into crypto. ETFs are coming for Ethereum this summer, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so good news on that front, seeing that turnaround. Good news, the exchanges are doing things, and that regulation, I guess they vetoed one. The president vetoed that regulation that was supposed to go through or something, but just a minor setback there. But at least things are happening. People are doing stuff, and there is some things that are looking on the positive side. Still a lot of OTC trades going through. Really, really big OTC trades on ETH side. Still seeing a good Bitcoin or two transaction for 100 million or so going in every once in a while. But the Ethereum transactions have been going pretty crazy. Looks like OTC trades. So that's a lot of good news, but we're getting hammered. and then let's talk about so the week I go take off of socials, Richard goes and unfollows everybody. Oh man, that guy is brilliant. Sometimes he does some crazy shit that's just brilliant. He probably is like, now how do I unfollow this guy and that guy for doing stupid shit or for doing this or for doing that, but not follow this guy? And fuck it, I'm just gonna unfollow everybody. I'm sure that's kind of a conversation that he had within his head. He's like, I just can't protect everybody, can't keep people from seeing bullshit, so I'm just gonna unfollow everybody. That was good. Richard's always got some really cool angle that he's pulling off. It hasn't been boring during the bear market, right? Oh, some people would think he threw a hatchet into EX's back in the middle of the bear market. What else did he do? Oh man. Anyway, yeah. So that was interesting to see. Richard and follow. We had PulseChain seemed to be doing pretty good. Now we're back down again. Let's see. Let me look at the charts here. Should I pull them back up? Because I have not looked at them. I have been staying away. Not bad. It's doing all right. I got the. Oh, that's not. Give me the daily chart. Where's the daily chart? There we go. Yeah, I saw that little pump there, and then 3 down days. Okay, so we went back down a little bit. But anyway, hey, what's up, Swearworks? Good to see you. Charlie Mars said, my wife asked for a divorce the day after RH unfollowed me. Oh, man. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. Richard should apologize to you for that. Oh, my goodness. So anyway, maybe you guys should update me on what's going on, because I have no clue. This is like the first time I've looked at the charts, and I wish I could say we were moving and mooning and doing. No, nothing good. No, sorry guys. No hopium in this tank right here in this syringe. None for you. Oh, that spoon's empty, baby. That spoon's empty. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, this is your show. Anything you guys want to come on and talk about, I put the link in the description. I didn't go on socials and post. I gave SJ the day off. I told her not to worry about it because she's out in Amsterdam having a good time with all the Hexicans out there. So I didn't have her put anything together. I just kind of jumped up here myself, see if anybody wanted to jump in. Ash says, let's pull this up. Man, I would love for you guys to chat with me and just start asking some questions and stuff. Just wasn't like this during the early days of Hex, but I still believe either way. You know, here's the cool thing about that, Ash. You don't have to believe. It's not about belief. Crypto is crypto. The market is something completely different. Cryptos do what they do. You know, Bitcoin's going to keep doing what it does, how it does it. Slow, ugly, expensive, wasteful. Ethereum's going to do it plugged up, constipated, slow to update itself. Still, concept provers, both of them. Hex still does its thing. Still does its thing. Works better on PulseChain now, because we don't have to rely on Ethereum's dumbasses to keep things up and running and do it efficiently and inexpensively. PulseChain doing its thing. PulseX doing its thing. A lot of the cryptos that are launched on PulseX are doing their thing. A lot of them are garbage. A lot of them are, made mistakes, broke themselves or whatever. Some of them fix themselves. Some of them are still messed up. But crypto's doing what they're doing. You don't have to believe in them. You have to believe in the market coming back. That's what I think it is. It's belief in the market. Belief that people are going to want to use this shit. Has really nothing to do with them working. Look, Hex is badass. Like nothing functions like Hex. Nothing out there for people to utilize like a certificate of deposit, a retirement plan, a 15-year hold away, making crazy APY. Nothing works like it. The world really, really needs it. The working class people out there really, really need it. Now, that's what we need, is for people to see the value of it, because it's there. It's not about belief. It's about seeing the value and what it offers, because it offers something nothing else does or can at this point. No one else has even made a copy of it, really, other than Richard. So it's really about belief that the market's going to come back. And I think these sons of bitches out there have pumped so much money into Ethereum and Bitcoin right now that it's got to come back. How and when will retail get involved? When will crypto big bags quit dumping? I don't know, man. This bear market has eaten a lot of them up, kept a lot of them scrimping and scraping on their big bags, making, rough gains. So we'll see how this market, I don't know how it's going to come back or what's going to bring it back. Just know that historically it has. So we'll see. Paul, let's see. What'd you say? You should have seen that in the chart 7 hours ago. We were down 20% from now. Oh boy. Oh boy. Keep it to yourself. I don't even know how bad it was. Let me pull Ashes down here. Let's see. Remember the voting system on testnet? Yeah. Yes, I do. Let's see. 3 Gwei ETH gas right now. Okay. Okay. Rolling Rock says lowering the Fed interest rates would bring crypto prices back up. Ain't gonna be no interest rate change. We just found that out. It ain't gonna change it. Ain't gonna happen. So we gotta deal with that. So like you said, bro, it might be stretching this shit out, right? Seems like it's gonna be a while, Swear Word says. Yep, I believe so. Sorry for snatching all that opium out from underneath y'all's noses, but yeah, here we are. Logi says people forgot how full of hacks, rug pulls, and frauds is full of crypto. SBF, FTX, Do Kwon, Luna Mashinsky, Three Arrows Capital, etc. Volatility is the price we pay. Yep, for having jackwagons running the show. All those guys you named there, all of them. We all knew it. Richard even went toe-to-toe with some of them. We warned everybody about them. I remember Three Arrows Capital. People were claiming that they had hex bags in the early days. And then they went missing. And then we knew that was the first domino right there. Three Arrows Capital was like the first domino way back before the bear market even came. Before the bear market even came. Yeah, Three Arrows Capital was like the first domino. Yep. Let's see. Hey, Susie Q, what's up? Good to see you, my lady. Let's see. Maybe a war or flu thing. Make the Fed do it. Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but I guess they think the economy's, well, I mean, with the numbers and everything, it's doing good. Jobs are up, wages are up. A bunch of companies just got caught freaking gouging all of us. They're taking their products and charging more or the same price and lowering the amount of product that they put in the packaging. Now, my wife is an expert shopper. Expert. Because she always had to put a dime where a dollar was supposed to go every single month for the last 20 plus years that we've been married. So she learned how to shop. She goes to certain stores, certain days of the week. She's really good at shopping. And she is on it. My wife has a freaking, I can't remember shit. I have CRS really bad. She remembers everything. Everything. There isn't anything that gets past that money. And she tells me, these are smaller. This is smaller. I don't get as much in here anymore. And she was telling me this for like the last, year. I'm like, you're crazy. But sure as shit. Now they're getting caught doing it. Now they're getting caught. They are gouging us. And it's a shame. It's a shame that they're doing it. But anyway, that's a whole nother animal out there. What I think they used COVID to kind of reset and make everybody pay the piper so that they made money. All the big companies made money on all. They didn't lose money. They killed the little guys, killed all the small business owners, and the big businesses raked it in. They got tax cuts. They got stock buybacks. The whole shebang shaboom, just like what the banks did in the early days. Same shit like the banks did back in 07, 08 when all that shit went down. They walked away with a killing. And guess what? The middle guy got screwed over again. Right on. Well, I got a Hexican showed up in the back. Let's see. Robert, what's happening, bud? How's it going?
I'm doing pretty good. I've been kind of hiding in the background for a little while.
Yeah. I did that this week. Felt good. Felt really good to stay off socials and just kind of chill a little bit. Had to get back to it today, of course, but we'll see how long this show lasts, since I have no hopium or alpha for anybody.
There's nothing wrong with coming in and showing that you're still here. You know, we got to live our normal lives too.
Yeah, we all do. And you know, I'm definitely not complaining. My life is good because I get to do what I want, you know, with who I want, where I want, and the style I want to do it in, which is, you know, I like my crypto businesses that I'm involved in, and you know, talking to this community and being part of the community, and the PulseChain tour, which we're getting ready to go to Europe. I'll be leaving for Europe next week.
Nice.
Yeah, I have it headed to Rome with the family. Going to spend some time in Italy, and then we're going on the PulseChain tour cruise. We're going to be cruising from Venice down to Greece and stopping in, you know, Pompeii, or is it Pompeii, and what's that other place down there? Shoot, can't remember. Anyway, we're going to stop at a bunch of places. 7-day cruise. That's going to be crazy, crazy, crazy. Hey, MT Coiner, what's up? 22 months. Look at that. Look at that. Thanks for the support, man. Thanks for the support. And yes, Ash, gouging customers to serve shareholders and maintain their jobs. That's what they do. That's what they do. And we pay the price for it. We do. So what are you up to, man, other than taking a break yourself?
Well, I'm trying to expand the sound company I have. Trying to go out and get more gigs. I'm actually enjoying that. What was it, 2 weeks ago? I got a chance to go out and do a run for cancer.
Oh, nice.
It's up in Berks County, Pennsylvania, and they actually brought in, was it right around $330,000, and it was
nice.
a fun run, basically. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Very good, very good. Hey, we got another guest in the green room. I don't think I've ever met this person, but everybody, it's Kellyanne. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What to what do we owe this pleasure to? This is your first time on here, right?
Yes. It's
So
my
cool.
first time.
So who are you? Tell us a little bit about yourself. New person.
Yes, but I'm not.
Okay.
But yeah, I just thought I'd just show up and say hello, because I just don't want to be disrespectful, because I'm a up here Hexican pretty much, not all the time, but most time.
How long have you been around working?
I started in it's been over 2 years now. And then I started with a ladder, a T-share staking ladder.
Mm-hmm,
and I got the copies, you know what I mean? It was a lot of work. I mean, it was a lot of work.
Mm-hmm. And you've been just white knuckling it through the bear market.
Not really, no. I mean, I think PulseChain is a playground, but that's just me, and I am full-time crypto.
Oh.
So, you know what I mean? I don't have baby mamas. I don't have, you know, any of that. Well, I wouldn't be a mama, but it'd be like I don't know, maybe a bastard or something like that. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, you know, so I'm full-time, and I have that gift.
Cool. So what do you do full-time?
A crypto. I've been doing crypto full-time for a long time.
Yeah. So trading, just trade?
I started with Bitcoin way back before MetaMask. I remember when we first started MetaMask, and I was there when Ethereum launched. And
nice. So you've been around.
I came in when Bitcoin was 300.
Yeah, about 2014, 2000.
And then I had to learn, you know, I didn't have to, but I learned security, you know, later on. But, you know, I got the principles down. I I learned outside of my drinking days. Those days I don't remember them that well, but at least I still could do crypto and drink. It's crazy, you know, but really crypto is a beautiful thing, you guys. We should just be so thankful that it's still here. Not even that it's ever leaving us. It's just that be thankful you're here.
Yeah.
I'm inspired by crypto, and PulseChain is awesome. So I'll shut up after that. That's all I got to say.
Well, you're here not to shut up. So great. So you were here in the early days right before we got Ethereum, and saw MetaMask launch when that piece of garbage it was at first. It was hard. It was kind of tricky to use at first. It was like, wait, what is this thing? You know,
I'm very picky too. And when I saw this community, it just pulled me right in. The community is first. You guys have the best community. We have the best community. I mean, it's like it saved my life. And I'm sure it saved a lot of people's lives because, you know, just having T-shares staked and that every step you make, you know, you're just earning, you know what I mean? And that reward is so beautiful that it's there and it will always be there. And God, we should all just be so thankful.
Yeah. And it saved a lot of people from themselves by being able to put
Definitely, I need help.
locked away.
Yeah. So I'm not feeling sad, you know?
No, it's stakers. We're making some nice gains every day. I mean, we're up in the 7 hex per T-share now, and it just keeps on every day. More and more hex going into your bags. If you're staked, if you're liquid, you're just getting diluted by everybody who's staked. So we don't talk about that as often anymore. We've always got something new and shiny to talk about these days, and we stop talking about. I should get my mic in front of me. We stop talking about the importance of hex and the T-shares and staking and what it does for your crypto bags. You know, and I don't take degenning away from anybody or liquidity providing or trading or any of that stuff. If that's the stuff you want to do, that's fine. You go ahead and go do it. But if you don't have yourself staked out properly, and then you're doing crypto wrong. You're doing it wrong. And we've been trying to teach people that for years now. And some people out there are still chasing shiny objects with their important bags, and they shouldn't be doing that. You're going to end up getting yourself wrecked and end up out of this game if you don't do it right. So staking is important. Staking's important.
Easy for that to happen.
What you drinking? Somebody's asking what you're drinking, Kelly.
It's a very interesting concoction, and I don't know if anyone would ever like it. So it has probably 10 ingredients. You know what I mean? Like it's
a special Friday night tea.
It's an everyday drink.
Oh, that's a big cup too.
Special. It actually has a lot in it, like cacao and ashwagandha, and it has sea salt. It also has some of that spicy stuff, like ginger. It has some ginger in it. Coffee. But yeah.
Good fun. I've got hydrogen water. I generate my own hydrogen here. Hey, we got another Hexican jumping in the back, and he's always in the chats, but rarely do I see him here. Paul, what's happening? How you doing, bud?
What up, brother?
Good to see you, man.
I come to solve the chat's woes. They're getting pretty pissed off that Kelly's not telling her background and how she got to RH. I know Kelly's background, but I know Kelly pretty well. So be open, Kelly. Come on, appease the chat.
So everybody wants to know where you come from, Kelly. So maybe you can give us your little background story, how you found this community, or Richard.
My friend, my best friend, he called me and he tried telling me over and over and over again, probably for a full entire year. I had watched RH back in the day when he had, I'm sorry to say, but when he had his nails were painted black. So when I guess I somehow or another saw that and I decided I didn't want to listen to him anymore. And that was back when he had the candles and everything, and I was just like, I like that dude so much, but I'm like, what up with the darkness, And it freaked me out back then because I wasn't open enough back then.
Mm-hmm.
And so I left, but then my friend told me all about this hex for a year and I wasn't really paying attention, little drinks more than normal. Next thing you know, he's like, Hex again on the phone one day. And I'm like, oh yeah, he's going to be on Ivan's interview. And he's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, I'll watch it so I did. And then after that, I went straight into laddering I like CDs, but I understand instruments like certificates of deposit because I come from the banking world. And I used to be the one that fixed the CDs. Like if they were broken, I'd have the screen and I'd have to reconstruct them. And I was like probably 20 years old, just young and I'm like, God, when I get to be older, I'm going to have all these CDs with these, high interest rates at 20 years, 15, I thought I was going to have it made. Look at me now.
So,
I mean, perfect. That's like, it just in my head, I was just like, what? A CD instrument? I didn't know that's what Hex was.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
So that's what I want to hear.
Ave in the dust. Ave, goodbye. Have a good day.
Yeah. So being a professional in that industry and knowing CDs as well as you did, what was when you first understood what Hex and staking was all about? Tell me what a person of your caliber and what your knowledge and your wisdom in that space thought about Hex when you discovered what it was.
I think it just helped me stop a lot of my addictions.
Really?
Mm-hmm. I do. For sure.
Interesting.
It was like I did well in my personal situation. I just felt like it was like it saved me. It pulled me in and then the community, and then I was with No Permissions and Paul and Randy Hilarski's group, and I felt like I had like people to work with, and I can't work alone. I can, but I prefer people. So I just love you guys. And I think that it's the community that's first, even if we're all fighting, it don't fucking matter. It don't matter. It don't matter. And everyone's cool. I like the people here. That is really what it's all about. It just pulls you in,
Yeah.
It's serious business. You guys set your ladders, your Hex ladders. You're just like, what's
there? Don't fade yourself. I knew about your nomad capitalist background, that you came from that world into crypto originally, but if you got V3 questions, liquidity providing questions, Kelly can answer. She's good at all that.
I am, but I don't know how to explain it.
Hey, if you're making money doing it, that's good. That's
you don't
good.
even need to know math.
Well, you don't. Percentages, a little bit of percentages, maybe.
But a little bit. It's it's not like as hard as people might think it is. It's really, you could test $5, just when you hear people talking and you don't go do it, you don't really, it's almost better just to kind of test it in the middle of your training and kind of feel it out a little bit with $1 or something, you know what I mean? While the gas is cheap.
Yeah. Well, right on. Good to have you with us. I'm glad that it helped to knock out some of your addictions by building staking ladders. Maybe that'd be an interesting story one day. It's a
lifesaver.
Yeah. I've heard it, you're not the first person I've heard it from. We had people that were on the verge of, offing themselves and all kinds of stuff that said, hey, this community kind of brought me. I mean, I know in crypto, it's cliche to talk about the communities and blah, 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 blah. But when it comes down to it, we don't have real marketing teams. We don't have traditional businesses within the system itself. And so this is the best alternative, which is the community coming together, helping each other out, making things happen, having meetups, building relationships, and building on top of the chains and the cryptos and the learning platforms that would have been done by a traditional business of some type. So it's cliche, but it's not, because this is how it's done here, because this is our tool. This is the people's tool. So the people are the ones that are supposed to custodian it. We're the ones that are supposed to market and custodian it and bring people in and teach them and educate them, because it's a thankless job. We don't get paid to do this. We don't get paid to sit here for hours and hours and help people out all the time. But the payout, you help enough people, and what happens is it ends up pumping your bags and helping you. The residual effect is you end up getting wealthy, helping others to try and do so also. So I think that's why we have this community aspect, because the rewards are from how good we all work together. And I agree with you with the fighting too. All the Hexicans out there that have either blocked me, unfollowed me, or have shit to say about me, whatever, I still freaking like each and every one of them, because they're all out there doing their thing, and whether they're poking me in the eye with a stick or whatever, it's still, I'm proud that we have all these subgroups now in this community, versus just us, and I don't care what anybody says. We were the first ones to push the button. We were the first ones to back Richard. We were the first ones to teach people about Hex and T-shares and staking and all that. And now we've grown, and we've got, sub communities and communities that hate each other, and communities that are at each other's throat, and communities that actually work together and do things together. But it is growing, and that's what's cool, so. What's up with you, Paul?
I was just going to say, one of the best things about crypto is when you're filling your cup, or you feel like your cup's full and you overflow and you just pay it forward to others, man, is it the fastest turnaround. Does it just come back to you in mysterious ways that you wouldn't see it even coming? But there is no other industry like it. There's nothing else in the world like it.
Yeah, and the euphoria and the happiness when we are moving up is guys, if you haven't been through it yet, it's just as good as the bad times. I'm telling you. It's just as good when we're going up, if not better, than it is sitting here in the bottom, just sucking all of the scum from the bottom of this bear market.
Man, it feels like we've been dragging the anchor on the bottom for a long time. It doesn't. It feels like
it has been brutal.
Can we pick this thing back up to sack price someday and hold it? Right.
Well, I mean, I think it's also about kinetic energy too. The bow is being drawn back further and further and further. And that's just going to be a lot of energy that gets released once this thing really does, get into a full bull market again. And so it's been pent up for a while. And I think that we're going to see when it does move, it's going to move pretty hard. I don't know what's going to make it happen, because we talk about the cycles, we talk about, the halvening coming and doing its thing. And it's funny that, Bitcoin, surprised everybody, and right at the halvening, it started moving up right before and went to all-time highs, like quietly in the middle of the night, went to all-time highs before it was supposed to. And then boom, it just kind of wiggled there. So it's been interesting. It's going to be an interesting next couple of years in this crypto space, see what happens. But things are looking good. The regulatory signs are looking good. We shall see after this election year is over. But I've got some pretty positive thoughts about what's about to happen.
Go for it.
You know what they say, getting into something firsthand, anything, whatever it might be, crypto, Like if you invested in Ford or whatever company that first came out, now they're a lot of them are multi-billion to multi-trillion dollar companies. Those folks that first got in and sat on their, investment, they're sitting pretty now. We just have to be patient, just like everybody else. And that's all we got to do. And for those that are stressing or want to make the money right away, is the crypto is shown to where the big pump and dumps come from. Everyone's expecting that. They're not understanding that it takes longevity for those things to build properly, not the little scams. It's just like anything else. We just have to be patient.
Explore an onion, you know what I mean? Just look at an onion, that's what we got. Deep levels here.
Lots of them.
It could be much more powerful than onboarding. I mean, that's the truth. Some things are unbelievable,
Yeah, there you go. Fast Abdul. I just put the link in there for you. Looks like Fast Abdul wants to come on in and share some feelings, he says. He's got some feelings.
Fast is here now.
I got some feelings too. My feelings are that I just took a step back all week and stayed away from social media, which was awesome. Awesome.
Best on you. ain't nothing but a shit show. So ain't missing much right now. Yeah.
It is. But
no, I was going to say a moment ago, the craziest thing about crypto is the fact that like when Bitcoin started pumping and finally got back to its 47,000 after the ETFs launched and it dipped down, is how fast people are to forget the grind and forget the bottom, and they just get used to the pump. And as soon as the first day or second day it doesn't pump, they're like, why isn't it pumping? Why isn't it going up? And you're like, oh my God, you obviously weren't here through the bottom of the suck.
Yeah. Overnight success. Yeah. Only 3 years of sucking, right? Hold on one second. Fast Abdul's in the back. What's happening, bud? You there? Oh, I might have a bad connection.
I swear that man is north of the Arctic Circle right now.
Oh, you got your mute on, buddy. Unmute yourself.
There we go.
There you go.
New technology, folks. The first streaming on my cell phone. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
here.
we can hear you. We can hear you. You're a little choppy as far as the video goes, but that's all right.
Okay. I'm just going for a little walk here. Anyway, I heard you're all, you sounded kind of down about the future. When really, I think the future's looking great. I think the bottom is in, and we're going up from here, guys. That's
what it looks like. We've been saying that for a few months now. It's I don't know how much longer we have to wiggle around down here. It's election year makes some weird things happen. We've got both sides leaning in, leaning out, making a decision here, making a decision there. Nobody's really wanting to commit to anything, it seems. But that's what election years do. Economy's got some weird stuff going on. You got the big numbers coming in, and then you've got companies gouging people, and just a weird space right now. Interest rates aren't going to change. What's that going to do? It's looking kind of just very, very odd. A different place than I've ever seen before at this juncture in a crypto cycle.
Yep. I'm with you, but I think like if you look at the macro, just like the long timeline, we're kind of right where we're supposed to be in most regards. I'm pretty like the market in general. And we just got that ETF news for Ethereum. I can't see that not being crazy positive. This might be like the cycle to end all cycles in a lot of ways, but I could be wrong. Not financial advice.
No, I think you're right. I'm seeing a lot of Ethereum over-the-counter trades going. So the OTC is going off the charts right now with Ethereum, just like it did with Bitcoin before it ran to 70. So I don't see why Ethereum shouldn't be running really soon. And the altcoin market, taking off, DeFi taking off. It's really what everybody is longing for is DeFi. And and there's other chains and other cryptos out there trying to tap into it too. So it's got a lot of support. It's got a lot of things that are being built that people are wanting to use. So we'll see.
Yep. I think high ETH prices are going to be a pretty fantastic thing. I don't know. I'm not a technical analysis guy. I can't tell you when the top of ETH will be, but I suspect if there was a time where the sacrifice wallet was going to start buying up things, it would probably be around the ETH high, whenever that's going to be. So looking forward to that idea.
Yeah, I think when it comes down to it, you guys, a couple of you here have been around a few cycles. We used to see in the early cycles, right? Right after ETH came, we'd see, the rally, and 17 was kind of like the big, show of that was, 16, 17, when we saw Bitcoin cycle, Ethereum cycle, Bitcoin cycle, Ethereum cycle. We've seen the two cycles coinciding with each other, kind of bouncing off each other. They'd say, okay, it's time for Ethereum to run, and it would run, and Bitcoin would slow down, but now we have, the RH coins and DeFi, and they're highly attached to the Ethereum cycle. It's interesting to see that Bitcoin ran up that fast. BlackRock, unknown to everybody, ended up with their bag of Bitcoin that they wanted before anybody even knew that they got it. And boom, price ran up, and then it stalled. It stayed there. And now we see the focus go into Ethereum and regulatory leaning into Ethereum, and from one day saying no, never, not in a million years, to the next day at 180. Oh, here it comes. You'll see it this summer, and we should see some really, really soon. It's like, how does that happen? Are they? And then you start seeing the OTC trades go. So the tea leaves are out, and the writing's on the wall, and I think you're right, Abdul. It's just a matter of time now before we start seeing all the fruits of this. I mean, what's the market cap on the whole market right now? Are we 3 trillion?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah, I'd like to see what that is. Maybe Melv Tony's got the number of that, but that would be kind of interesting to see, because what did we run up to this last cycle? We ran up to 3.2, 3.1, something like that. I like to just kind of gauge it a little bit by what financial energy is kind of being built up within the entire ecosystem. And that kind of shows you, where you're moving, where you're going, because my guess is it just like what it did in 17, we ran to like right at 1 trillion, and then boom, we ran to the 3 trillion, 3 point something trillion this last time. So my guess is we're going to go higher than that. So 2.53 trillion. Thanks, Mel Tony. Appreciate that. So yeah, so we're real close to that 3 trillion mark. So that's telling me, that we're right about liftoff time, but that's just tea leaf shit. So
hell, I'll take it. I don't think anybody's going to deny that.
Well, I mean, you look at the cycles, in 17, you had 1 trillion, and you had 3 trillion in the 21 cycle. And now here we go. And we're running right back up to that 3 trillion mark. And that's usually about when it hit that 1 trillion mark before, that's when it started taking off, so right when it catches up to itself, that's when, institutional money, retail investors start getting excited. Boom, 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 boom. All the good news starts coming out. We're seeing good news coming out. So yeah, I mean, we're right there. And,
I know the world's looking at what BTC is going to top out at, and everybody's interested in that. I'm actually more curious as to where ETH's going to stop at, because if ETH even comes close to topping out near its last cycle on the ETH BTC ratio, it's going to go a lot higher than people are predicting.
Yeah.
Yep. Like, I know there's like some tea leaf reading going on, but like we do have, for some of the stuff we have had, and we do have dates on the calendar, right? Like we have a date for when the ETF for Ethereum goes live. And then after that, whatever's next, the Solana ETF, et cetera, et cetera. And that's something we didn't have last 2 cycles in a lot of ways, right? Aside from Bitcoin halvenings, not many dates to put on the calendar.
Yeah. No. So
Hey boys, I got to jump off here. I'm at 7% battery life. It's about to die. So.
All right, Paul. Thanks for stopping by, man.
Catch y'all later.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm optimistic. I just don't know how much longer we're going to have to sit here and bounce around on the bottom. But I think, like you said, it's when Ethereum starts to move, and you know, our favorite ecosystem starts benefiting from that. Then that's when we'll see things here start to move. And I think it's going to be just about everything that touches it is going to be moving up. We've got a lot of great projects out there.
What do you guys think we're at for the psychology of the crypto market? Where do you think we're all sitting right now?
It's just getting started, man, I believe is the quote.
Yeah, because I think that no matter where you go in the world, people have heard about crypto. You know, back in 14, 15, it was like, what? Bitcoin? What is that? You know, and then people started to hear about it. And now just about everyone I talk to has some crypto, whether it's a Robinhood app or whatever it is, they have some. Yeah, I got some of that, or such and such. Maybe my kids show me how to get this or whatever, you know. So now it's gone from what to I've heard of it to now I have some. So the cycle is changing. Most human beings understand that there is a thing out there called crypto, and it's not all just a scam, which most of it is, and we know that. But sentiment's changing, and now if we can get some type of simple retail onboarding process to, you know, enter the system here on the DeFi side, then I think that, you know, that's going to be the key, because we saw it with Robinhood on the last cycle. You know, that was where the retail investors were really helping to move the needle, and it was because it was simple. And I've got an onboard that I'm dealing with now, a friend of mine, and went out on a fishing trip with him, and he was showing me, of course, his Robinhood app. You know, he's into crypto, but he doesn't know how to move his money off of Robinhood. So it was interesting to kind of dive into, you know, how he discovered it, how he, you know, got involved in what he actually knew. And, you know, to a lot of the people around him, he was the crypto guy, but he really didn't know anything about what he was doing, you know? So, it's going to be interesting to see where this retail market goes, and how much buy-in we get from the general public.
I wonder how big a step it is, like a mental step, to go from, let's say you're a boomer and you buy the Ethereum ETF or Bitcoin ETF, and then going from there to real crypto, right? At least you would be interested in it. So I imagine there will be some onboarding there, even though it's not very direct.
Yeah. And that's where the money is. You know, the baby boomer generation was the biggest generation ever. They drove the economy of the world for decades. When they were born, hospitals, Pampers, all those things were invented. Their generation created so much economy, and they're huge, and they're retired or retiring, and they've got the money. They've got the greatest generation's wealth handed down to them. They made a lot of fortunes back in the, you know, the early days of the tech, you know, booms, and the aerospace booms, all of these new war machine technologies that came out. there was literally cities out here in the 80s that were companies, Boeing, McDonnell Douglas, all of these companies, Northrop Grumman, they all were they were cities of happy people making lots and lots of money. And that was all boomers working in there. And now they're retired, they're sitting on their money and they don't know what to do with it, you know? And this needs to be the place where it moves. And I think that the X generation, the millennials and whatnot, need to be helping them to get their value into crypto. And there's a lot of it out there. There is a lot of it out there. And a lot of it's going to end up getting passed down in through the younger generations. But that's the generation that needs to be tapped into, because that's where the real money is. That's where the real wealth is.
I think a lot of those folks, a lot of the boomers that are out there, they're not going to invest until there's some easier way to be able to get people in. It's still complicated. There's still a lot of steps. And just like us here, we're willing to take that time to learn about it, to be able to take those steps to get in and invest in these certain coins. You know, the boomers, the other folks that are out there that are still hesitant, it's going to be hard for them, you know, because there is so many steps right now. And it needs to be simplified for those folks and still encrypted so their stuff doesn't get stolen. You know, until that happens, it's not going to be adopted, mass adoption. But there's got to be a way to fix this so it's more applicable for everybody.
Yeah, that's been my war cry for a while.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Because like the way I see it is like I don't see it like that. I mean, like, we don't need McDonald's masses, you know? Not just on PulseChain. We don't need it. We don't need it. So it's like, you know, it's just a natural path. It's just, you know, we all got to take the path where we're going to go. And I think all of us are not using exchanges for the most part. So, geez, we're so thankful, you know, that we know how to use, you know, DeFi or know our own keys, you know.
It did just get a lot easier with the MEXC thing. I think that's going to be a great onboarding tool. And then there's a side effect where Portal X, like the managers, which is like a Rubik, it can access the funds via MEXC. So now you can bridge directly to the PulseChain. I'm not sure about now.
You're
like from
you're wrecked
Solana or something. Right.
Hey,
oh, sorry.
That's okay. We just had you. You were glitching out a little bit. Now we can hear you.
Okay, but yeah, you can now bridge from Solana to PulseChain with Portal X because it can route through MEXC. So much lower fees to get onto PulseChain from things other than ETH. So, you know, we might not get the boomers doing that because that's still pretty weird. But like Kelly said, we could get like, you know, other pros from Ethereum and Solana and the other chains to come on to see what we have, right?
Yeah. Dorsey said, we need a Trezor and Robinhood to have a baby and be DeFi. Trezor just launched a new hardware wallet too. I'm not sure all of what it does. I looked at it. It's got like, you know, it's got a Gorilla Glass screen on it and some stuff, but I don't know if there's any extra features any more than the Model T. But yeah, that would be if we can get people, you know, on a hardware wallet that logs them in and that hardware wallet, you know, gets them to the onboarding portal. That would be awesome too, and make the wallet look like your bank's back office where you see transactions and numbers and everything versus all this gobbledygook bullshit, send, receive, whop, scam transaction. That doesn't help anything. We need a ledger that looks like a friggin' bank ledger, period. End of story.
Guess what? I
What's
think
that?
what you're talking about already exists, but I'm not sure it's exactly what you're talking about. But you're already aware of it, but it's the Tangem. And I'm not saying Tangem is like, oh, 100% secure, everything's great. I'm just saying a Tangem is a PulseChain is supported on it. And a Tangem is a cold wallet. So use it like a cold wallet. You can put, just it goes on your phone and it's a card. You get a card. It's like NFC, on your mobile phone, and you want to get 3 cards, and then you have so much diversification of your security if you're using the Tangem wallet. Plus, you can give them to your friends, and there's a referral code too.
Heard that thing.
Give them to your friends. Say, hey, here's your wallet. Have a good day. Merry Christmas. Even though, or whatever. I don't know about that holiday, but you know what I mean? Just like hand out the Tangem wallets to your buddies.
Yeah, there's a
I
lot
got
of
one right here, look.
Fancy.
PulseChain. Fancy.
So it supports PulseChain on the device itself. Because I got an engrave and only the soft wallet part of it. Oh, really? So those are the cards that are redeemable for the wall. Is that what that is, or?
So cheap too. I mean, it costs nothing, man. If you buy 2 of them, you get a discount. You can, like you got to disperse these. This is not one that I set up yet, but there's a lot more to it. I don't want to bore people with that, but it's very secure, but it's not like the end all to all your nightmares of being hacked or anything like that, or being, your keys being known to someone else. Cause I don't like to say stolen, because it's really more like they know. So how are they not going to know is just, this guy gets this one, this guy gets this one, and I get this one. And then I decide, how I want that to work for me to go to my next phone. Do I need both? And you always need both to get going. So it's great because it's just a diversification of security completely outside of everything else that we do. You should always try to diversify in different ways, but don't make it too complicated. And this is not complicated. And it's a wallet. It's an actual wallet. Download it from, iOS or whatever the other one is.
Yeah.
Cool.
I've heard of it. I've never read up on it. I don't.
You need to get the app on your phone. It's not a desktop thing.
Yeah, I don't like doing crypto on my phone. I really don't.
No, neither do I. Never do either. I don't either. I mean, maybe one time in my life, but this is totally cool with me, and it supports PulseChain, and it's a great gift. So you should test it out so that you can give them to your friends. Because how are you going to give it to your friend without doing it yourself? You throw $200 on it of something and throw it in there. And if you ever need it, emergency situation, you got it on your phone. You can hand somebody something or give somebody some hex or whatever at a party.
Yeah,
Cool.
so check it out.
You know what I mean? Holidays are coming.
A lot of people are the D-Bank thing, which apparently is the same company as the Rabbi wallet. And Rabbi has a great interface for Trezor and Ledger. I'm not sure about other hardware wallets, but you can open it right and manage it right from inside your Rabbi wallet. It's much more like that bank feel, like looking at your bank account online versus what MetaMask is. And the D-Bank thing is like totally made for boomers, I think. And it's kind of a social media bit. I haven't delved deep into it because I just saw it as like too doxy, but apparently you don't have to dox yourself. But some people do. Influencers quite often, they'll be like, this is my public wallet, and they'll give a link to show their wallet on D-Bank, which is just a display page for the wallet. It's not like the wallet itself. And I think that's going to be an important tool, possibly if it keeps picking up steam, because it connects the concepts of social media with the wallet. So yeah, if people follow wallets on there, people show people their wallet on there if they're that kind of person. I am not. And there's I think there's something to build on there, but I'm just on the edge of understanding right now. Have you guys heard of that D-Bank?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was offered the same thing, but I didn't want to dox any of my wallets or be part of it, so I just didn't. But I guess like you said, there is a way you can do it but I shy away from all that stuff.
Yeah. But you can
That's interesting.
Look at wallets on there. You don't have to put your own wallet in, or you can put your own wallet in without having to sign up for anything, right? Just to see the display that they show. And that itself can be enough of a tool for a new person, because it lays it out in just a much more understandable way than what most of us are used to looking at. Like, it'll show your liquidity positions, your farming positions and stuff like that. And it's not like by default perfect, but as new things come out and they get on there, it's starting, like on PulseChain, it's starting more and more starting to show that, like, oh, you're farming this is your anticipated yield and things like that. And I think tools like that, and I think the yield farming concept's one, obviously I like it, but that the new people are going to be interested in stuff like that, especially if the new people are boomers or, anybody over 50 will probably like that idea. So to have a display to show them that's not super weird, I think you're onto something there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And the Rabby wallet is it is a step closer to being a little more comprehensive than MetaMask or whatever. But yeah, so they're on the right track. Good.
Yeah.
I like seeing this stuff moving forward.
I have not looked into a lot of the newer tech that's out that incorporates with your computer. Pretty much everything either works off of your phone or your computer. You either plug it in via USB and be able to connect that way. Most of that stuff seems like it's built for the computers themselves. Has anyone tried creating a piece of hardware that actually has either a hardwire or a Wi-Fi connection, which is the computer itself, like a nano computer or something like that, which would have the program built into it? That way, that is your access. That is your encryption code. That is your password, other than having your passwords, either etched in washers or a piece of stainless steel or something like that and put away. That way, instead of having to have a card or something like that you have to plug in, it's just a simple computer built specifically for crypto.
I have just the thing for you. Here. Here's my one of my crypto computers. It's just a tiny computer. It's not built specifically for crypto, but all I did was buy like a cheap computer, strip off all the bogus software, all the tracking things, etc., and then only have crypto on this computer. This computer never touched the internet except for to do crypto. It's never had a Google search done on it. It's never downloaded any app except for a MetaMask wallet. Like, you can make, you're talking about for $200 or $300 probably. I think this was $300 Canadian, which is about, 200 US. So, that's, right there. It's like, yeah, that's your crypto computer for.
But there's still a problem though. That laptop, any computer that's out there, whether if it's Apple or a Windows or a Linux or any kind of OS that's been created by bigger companies, they all have backdoors that can be accessed to get into your computer. This would be like a whole new program itself that would be incorporated. It would be its own program. That way you don't need anything else to add to it.
I'm with you, but like, if you want to get paranoid, like go to Linux. That's pretty, pretty specific. Yeah. And then your internet connections, right? Like are really, like right now that computer is turned off. It has no power. Nobody's accessing it. And that's the other thing is with my crypto computers, and I have 3 just like that, and they're all doing a different thing. Like they can still have a Trezor that I run through them, and when I'm not using them, they're always turned off, like and shut completely down. Right. Very security. I feel pretty safe about it.
Yeah, I've never thought that. I mean, obviously, taking security or taking security seriously is important. But all the super duper safeguards that a lot of the people have talked about out there, and titanium plates and all that kind of stuff, is a lot of times just overkill in my opinion. But do I do it? Yes. I put it all, away. I've got it all off site, did all the things. Always use a Trezor. And then never let anything fish. Never let anybody fish you. Never, ever, 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 ever put your seed words or anything into anything that you don't want to, or that anyone's asking you to.
Yep.
So many people get hit that way. And don't ever download, like you said, anything onto your computer, because we've seen people get hacked that way too, by downloading things to their computer where they were able to enter that person's computer and drain wallets. We've seen it.
Yeah. Like if you're doing anything risky on a computer, I'm not saying you shouldn't, but if you're downloading games or anything, don't do it on your crypto computer. Like, because a key tracker is a very small piece of software, right? It's so tiny. It could be part of something much larger. You download 1 gigabyte of anything and it could have something like that in there. So yeah, we want to be a little bit paranoid, that's for sure. But I think the combination of these things is what makes us ultra secure, right? Like having the hardware wallet, having segregated computers, having your seed phrase written on multiple metal plates that are deposited in different locations, right? Like you can go a long ways, but still a bad authorization, clicking the wrong link could still get you in the end. Probably not everything, but something. So yeah, be careful.
Yep.
Not everybody is able to afford multiple computers, though. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
And there's that too. And should those people be in crypto? Maybe not. It's all in the choice and the person and what they want to do. But it's
Again, it goes.
Some people shouldn't be in crypto. Some people should. It's depending on how well versed you are. If you know how to be safe, I mean, are you going to do something foolish? There's so many ways to look at it. So many options.
Yeah, I mean, and there's people that have safely, and I know of, have done crypto on their phones their whole time since, back in 2015, 16. I know people that have done that securely and they've been safe. But, everybody's got to know their risks, tolerance, their capability of screwing up. I've made many mistakes. And crypto's made mistakes and screwed me. I did a transaction with TUSD one time, and they froze my funds right in the middle because they had a banking issue, and it took me months to get it back. And so yeah, there's all kinds of pitfalls out there, and I think that's another problem with crypto is that even though and that's the price we pay for self-sovereignty is. You have self-sovereignty out here. There is nobody that is going to kiss your boo-boo when you fall down, scrape your knee, or get your head chopped off. That's it. You're done, and unfortunately I've seen that happen to people, who've been in this game for a long time, and then wham, one mistake and they've lost everything, and it's horrible to see, but that's crypto. And, I don't know if that's going to be, well, it obviously is a barrier to entry. How much of the right to DeFi are we going to give up to bring in masses of people that'll feel secure in doing so? Because you got to face it, like Robert said, there are going to be people that go, wait, this is crypto, so I can lose everything. There's nobody here. There's no FDIC. There's nothing. There's a lot of people that are going to say, yeah, I don't like that. And that's why we have ETFs. That's why those people want to spread that risk across, something that is not as risky as crypto. Yeah, it's safe according to them. you know, and we could sit here and scream, no, DeFi, crypto, you're screwing yourself. Those people have been invested in the markets for years and years and years. Those are their careers. That's what they do. They're going to continue to do it, and they're making money now off of Bitcoin doing it. So they look at us like, you guys are just eating shit and barking at the moon. We don't care. We want security. We want to get in. We want to be exposed to crypto, but we don't want to be exposed to it in the way that all of you guys are. You know what I mean? And so hopefully we don't have to give up our freedoms or too much of our DeFi freedoms to bring in the masses or to appeal to the masses. But I think that it's going to have to, we're going to have to see some give and take there. Regulatory, all that is going to have to jump in and do stuff. And then hopefully we'll just have a safe DeFi space that'll be, you know, we'll have two crypto worlds. We'll have one that's a little more centralized, and we'll have one that's completely DeFi, like a cash and a banking system crypto. I don't know. We'll see. We're still early, like Fast said earlier. You know, we're still very early. You know, that's the beauty and the wonderment of being in early, but it's also the pitfalls of being in early. Is, you know, it's not for the weak at heart or the weak stomachs. You got to be able to deal with, you know, these ups and downs and not being able to get everybody in and people losing money. You got to deal with all that stuff. So that's the price to pay for getting in early. But how early are we? We're 13 years into this thing, right?
I don't think we'll have what we have now in 5 years. I think, CBDCs will come in. It's like central bank digital currencies controlled by governments, and that probably there'll be very few no KYC services. It'll become a major legal issue. They've already started to try to push that to make no KYC wallets illegal in Europe. They're trying that. It's not, it hasn't gone through, but there's already talk about stuff like that. I can't see the big governments leaving the money on the table and not demanding more control. However, I don't see the whole thing as negative, because if you're here now and you have your foot in the door and you have your place, your castle that you're building, when all of that does come in and the bank is, paying everybody with crypto, and your grandma gets your old age pension in crypto, and that kind of thing, it will be a very, very good to have been here early. So I don't think it'll be that sad, but I don't think we'll get to be the Wild West forever. There may be a time limit on that, but who knows? Yeah, could be a thing.
We'll be the old grandpa. We'll be the old grandmas in crypto getting our pensions.
Well, it's good being a gunslinger out here right now. That's for sure. It really is. There's a lot of opportunity as long as you know what you're doing, and there is a lot of opportunity out here for people who understand the streets and what's going on, and setting themselves up for super success when this thing does start moving. We do start getting more adoption. And so if you're getting wrecked now, and you're in early, just keep dusting yourself off, learn from your mistakes, learn from others' mistakes, and try and get this right. Richard even said it. He said, if you get crypto right, if you get this thing right, you will never have to work another day in your life. That's where we're at right now. Like, the next couple of runs here are going to make people that are in this space, and in this space right, not just in the space, but in this space right, very, 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 very wealthy. And it's going to be the biggest exchange of wealth that we've ever seen. Yep. It already has been. I mean, I'm seeing money moving into this market that, it's for what it is, for what crypto really is. Like, we just talked about all the pitfalls and how dangerous it is and how you can lose everything and how wonky it is and how all of these things that, you touch could destroy you in any moment. We're doing pretty damn good, to be honest, because, running up the $3 trillion market caps and having BlackRock buy into it, like real, like the top of the top institution saying, okay, we want a piece of this too, then, there's something up here, and people have to figure it out, and getting it right now is important. So get your shit together, folks. Get your shit together.
When's the PulseChain ETF? We should be getting on.
We should, right?
Is there a way to do that? Like, is there a path, or do you just have to be BlackRock?
Of course. No, and yes and yes. There's a path. And we have our trust, the Hex Investment Trust, which is Hex on the market. But it's in a form that it's a private offering right now and all. So there's a process and steps that you have to take in order to get it listed, to get it where it's got to go, to get it in front of the bigs. And of course, you said the number one thing. Well, do you have to be BlackRock? Well, yeah, BlackRock gets what BlackRock wants, and
maybe BlackRock could want a Pulse ETF. We could talk to them about that.
Maybe they could, but being somebody who's actually, gone on that path and seen the process and the road that you have to trudge, it is not easy. Kinetics and Whales Only spent months and months and months, getting the Hex Investment Trust set up and
you have to be a certified investor to touch that, right?
You have to be a certified investor to touch that because it's a private offering. But the next bull run will more than likely change that because it's all about volume and the amount of dollars in the trust and all that kind of stuff. So the next bull run, like we were literally almost there to a public offering at the height of the last bull run because of the value that was in there.
Okay.
And now that obviously that's all changed. So now it's just kind of chugging along. It's all still in place, still in process. And also is setting kind of a precedent because it's never been told it can't function, it can't operate, and it has Hex in it. Mm-hmm. So that's saying, okay, you didn't come after, even though it was investigated, the Hex Investment Trust and all of us were investigated by the SEC. And there was nothing was brought up. No charges were brought up. Everything was on the up and up. All of the information was passed over to them. They basically just walked away from it. So the process has proven that they're not coming after Hex in that way because they could have, sent us a cease and desist and shut us down and said, you guys can't function. Hex is in there. And we think Hex is a security, blah, blah, blah. So that's not the case. It still functions and operates and runs and, people can still invest in it. So, but again, like you said, it's got its limitations but those can be met quickly. And then of course, anybody else wanting to take any of the other assets through that process, it can be done. So, and if regulatory is leaning on towards crypto, and Ethereum does get an ETF, why wouldn't PulseChain get an ETF? There's no reason why it couldn't. It's an exact copy. It's a duplicate of Ethereum. So with different with a proof of work change and different fees, different structure, whatever. So there shouldn't be any reason why, if you were to look at legal precedent, why it wouldn't pass also.
So who's in charge of that? Can maybe Kinetics, can we make him be in charge?
Yeah, there's nothing that gets by us or Kinetics when it comes to all that. So all of this stuff has been talked about, thought about, worked on. Yeah, it's a lot of work, and that guy likes to work. So but it's the market is where it's at right now, and there isn't anything that we can do about it other than keep teaching people and educating and developing community and becoming the marketers and doing the things that try and help create that viral event that's going to move the market. But other than that, we're at the mercy of it, and so all of these things can't really come to fruition until we start to see the market, start to change and move around. So you can't put a product out that nobody wants. People aren't even buying PulseChain right now as they should be. So that's the real issue. And again, I said in the beginning of the show, it's not about the products. The products are still good. All of your products, all the products that are out there are good. This market is not a reflection of the products that are out. Hex is phenomenal. You know, Kelly just told us, you know, I was in the CD market. This thing is the best thing that I've ever seen in crypto. And here we go. Boom, I'm on it. It is, they're all doing what they're supposed to be doing. It's market sentiment, you know, and it's where the market is. And there is really nothing we could do about it. We've all been trying to throw shit at the walls and eat shit and bark at the moon and do everything we can to get the market to move. And it hasn't. We've made movies, we've done tours, we've done everything that we can. And, you know, the market just hasn't moved yet. And I don't know what that viral moment's going to be, but we just keep throwing shit at the wall and seeing what finally makes it happen. Right? I mean, Robert, you were helping me on TikTok all that time. We were just banging TikTok every day, everything that we could do to try and get the numbers, try and get people to move. And you know what can you do? You know, there's other people out there hitting the social medias and TikTok and Instagram and all that stuff. And it's not changing the market.
Yeah, look at all the other streamers, Crypto Bestie and oh gosh, can't think of everyone right now. Corey Crypto,
Hexo's back
there, you know.
Yeah, we're starting to see
Dirty Turkey. You guys heard of him? He's only an influencer for dick with butt. I think it's fantastic though. Like it's like this guy who has the dick with butt costume that he dresses up in. And he just talks about dick with butt on YouTube and Twitter every single day. We need that for every single coin on the PulseChain. Like we need like 1,000 more influencers who are specialized, who are fanatical, who are funny, you know, interesting. He's always shooting things and I don't know, stuff like that, you know, like let's do it.
You're right, because it's communities like the Tang Gang has proven that, you know, you get a community together and rally, you can drive traffic to meme coins, to artwork, to anything, if you get a strong community build. And that's what we did with Hex at first. And now we've got all these other sub projects, some good, some bad, some indifferent. But it's about the communities being built around them. You know, the Telegram groups, all these, the leadership needs to start showing up and starting to drive those communities. And guys like that, I got to go check this guy out now. Yeah. Because that's great. Once you start doing that, once you start leaning into a community and rallying them, then you get what's called Reed's law, the Reed's effect, networking effect, which isn't, you know, a Metcalfe's law is a multiplication of you know, a network of building from relationship to relationship to relationship. But Reed's law is about groups developing within a network, and it grows exponentially larger than Metcalfe's law. And that's what we're starting to see here, which is exciting. I've been excited about this for the last few weeks, thinking about it and watching it happen and watching these subgroups develop and become stronger and backing their projects that they're involved in. And yeah, we definitely need more of that. Like you said, thousands and thousands and thousands of projects that are out there need that.
And we're already pretty awesome for influencers, but I think the community we have to push our influencers up, right? We have to support them in whatever way we can. And sometimes that can be financially maybe, but usually not. Usually it's like press the like button, press the share button. Like anybody watching this right now, like, yeah, you press the like, that's easy, but press the button that says share and then press like Twitter and then, you know, share it onto Twitter, right? Like it's like you'll have to press 2 more buttons and it's such a huge impact compared to just pressing the like button. So, you know, like if the community can do stuff like that and start pushing their favorite protocols and their favorite influencers so their favorite influencers can carry their protocols, that's going to be a huge difference.
Dorsey. Yes, exactly. And he's pushing for a timeout is what he's doing. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see who comes. I mean, look at all the influencers that have been coming out even during the bear market here, that have been either critical of the projects out there or what, that still gain popularity. So yeah, it's going to be, I think we have a good thing going here. I think that we are the most interesting place, one of the most interesting places, because I can't take anything away from the other chains. You know, being a maximalist myself, of RH products.
Tell me the phantom influencers. Who are the AVAX influencers.
No,
right?
no, you're right. You're right. The
Who are they?
communities themselves don't have the influence, but they are garnering action over there. And whatever it is that's doing it, whatever memes are doing it, whatever actions are doing it, they're doing a pretty decent job, because we even see it in some of the lesser chains out there, that they're actually making the needles move. So
True. I think we could bring some of those chains to PulseChain, and that's something I've been thinking about, is the concept of bringing over wrap versions of things from Ethereum and allowing people to farm with them on the PulseChain. Like, you could bring over wrapped Solana from Ethereum, where it exists, to the PulseChain via the Richard Hart Bridge, and then have that in a liquidity farm where people could make yield on their Solana on the PulseChain. You could do that with ETH. It's already there with ETH and Bitcoin. You could do it with AVAX, any of the top 10 layer 1, layer 2 chains, Matic, all that stuff.
We could even GIF it, burn it, and liquidity lock liquidity provide with it, and create a liquidity coin.
That might create some issues, burning a token, but yeah, it would. We can talk about it. There'd be a way. There'd be a different way. We wouldn't actually burn it. It would just go to do another function that.
Yeah, like lock it in liquidity pools or something.
Yeah, lock forever, and then the liquidity keeps buying and burning the thing. Yeah, there'd be ways. Kool-Aid will be on it. Don't worry.
Yeah, definitely. And here's another thing about lifting up influencers. You don't have to lift them all up, but stop it with the bad DMs and the wanting to do things with parts of my body. Please, guys, please. I'm done with that already.
Those could be good DMs. It depends on the context.
My goodness, no, I haven't had any really good ones lately. It's been pretty rough.
That'd be top of the bull market thing. You get some better DMs.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, we've gotten them all from all different sides. But anyway,
the threatening people online, that's ultimate low life stuff. I have no respect for people who actually, and I might say something as a joke, but it's very obviously a joke. But if you're actually sending people private messages that are threatening, I have no doubt that all those people are cowards and they're never going to show up. You'll never meet them in person, because only a coward would participate in such an activity. But just stop it. If you don't like it, turn it off, right? Press the mute button. They don't have to be dicks. They don't have to reach out and, try to bring you down, because they're sad or because they're stupid, usually, probably. It's not acceptable.
It's basement dwelling in mom's place, hot pocket eating guys. Because I've traveled the world for the last 2 years, and a few times I've been told that I was going to be met in some of these places, and I never have. So and the people that have been critical of me, that have met with me, we've sat down and and they said, hey, I was busting your chops and really, in all actuality, you're a great guy. Let's talk. And we sit there, and what usually happens is, we agree on about 90% of the shit that we are talking about or believe in, and there's only about 10% of the shit that we ever really disagree on. And that's all just bull crap anyway. So, if we can all focus on our commonalities, the things that we all agree upon, actually, that would be a much better world to live in, versus us focusing on the 10% of shit that we don't agree upon.
Yep. I think I'm looking forward to meeting some people in person. I think that will be interesting. And it is a small world, especially with something like the PulseChain. There's a fairly decent chance that, people who are public figures will meet each other. So, one day you'll meet Fastidul in an elevator. You know who you are. But, I think probably we can all get along in the end is most likely. The bull market will make everybody happy.
Oh, yeah. It's different. It's all different when things are going up. Things are going down. Boy,
yeah, they start lashing out. But that's what separates the men and women from the plebs, right? Is what you do when number goes down.
Yes, exactly. What do you do? What did you do when the number was down? What did you do during the bear market?
Yep.
Did you support the ecosystem? Did you did you scam out? Did you dump? Did you what did you do? And it's funny because a lot of people have exposed themselves publicly for what they've done, here in the bear market, in the community. It's kind of kind of weird to see that people have actually like doxed themselves, dumping or whatever it is that they've done, but again, you can't take that away from anybody. Everybody has the right to sell at any time or move their crypto in any way they want at any time. That should never be something that's questioned, and I see a lot of that, people questioning people selling, or they call it dumping or whatever.
Yeah.
You're all here now. I'm all for an advocacy of, LPing yourself out or, dollar costing yourself in, and all these kinds of tools that are available out there to us to be responsible bag holders, especially those of you who have bigger bags. But even if somebody does do that, it's not anybody's place to speak of it or criticize it or anything like that, but educate people on how they should do it is the better way,
Definitely.
It's interesting the way you said that, and look at it this way. We've all worked in one form or another, bringing some kind of currency in. Some of us US dollars, some of us other currencies that are out there even before crypto. And you have those people that are holding on to money. They don't want to spend it because you never know what's going to happen, but we have to live. We have to live, period. We have to eat. We have to pay our bills. We have to have the roof over our head. Some of us don't. Some of us are vagabonds and travel all over the world. But we still need to be able to survive somehow. And it's the same thing in crypto. We're selling to support ourselves.
It's part of the game. I think this is a good opportunity for me to bring up the concept of yield farms, because when we're in a bull market and things are moving up, I think is fairly safe to say the yield farms are not a trap if you pick safe ones. And for some people, it's the difference between selling their bags or holding their bags or being able to hold more of their bags, right? Because you could have another yield coming in that allows you to take profits without actually losing your bag. So I know it's not for everybody, and it can become a trap when you're over the top of the bull, right? But right now, I feel like it's a pretty comfortable position to be in. That's sort of my main thing.
Yeah.
But
moving sideways, moving up are pretty good in the yield farming and liquidity providing arena.
Sideways especially is fantastic. Up can be bad because you have impermanent loss, but usually you're still ahead, if you're doing it right. So you have two things. One went up more than the other. That's not terrible. But sideways is straight profit. It's pretty nice. And I think we're looking at 2-3 months of sideways. Honestly, I think
so
there's
too.
going to be a big boom in the next 2 weeks on the PulseChain, but I don't think the number is going to crash to the floor either. I think it's going to be a lot of not much, but there's still going to be news. There's still going to be interesting things. And if you have a way you can extract some value without dumping your bags, then, I think that is the ticket. And we have several really good options on the PulseChain to do that right now.
Yep.
Very nice. I have to jump in and speak about something. I just got messages. So it looks like either they haven't slept yet or they're awake over in Amsterdam right now partying, because I'm being told that we need to talk about London. London is coming up soon, guys. It's going to be here in the next few weeks. First, we're going to do we've got right now they're doing the Amsterdam event. We're going to be in Venice for the cruise. Then we will be in Portugal, and we'll be in Munich, and then we will be in London. Now, London may be the last official PulseChain Tour event at this point ever, because we will also be supporting Richard in New York for the trial. But as of yet, we don't have anything planned after that. I'm getting messages now saying we're not partying. We slept like decent human beings, because they've got an event early this morning there that they're doing. But anyway, so the the PulseChain tour will be changing to the Vegas 369 event once a year. We will be doing a big event in Vegas for PulseChain / hackathon / pitch fest / a whole weekend of PulseChain, all the projects on it, the support from the projects that are being built on it or have been built on it. So Vegas is going to be the one yearly event that we're going to do to get everybody together and do a big conference and change the PulseChain tour into focusing on one event a year. But the London event, I'm getting coached as I'm going here with messages. So July 20th is the London event. If you haven't been to a PulseChain tour event and you're in that area, or if you would like to just travel out there, that is going to be the party of all parties. We've got Hexy Bastards going to be out there providing party palace and a club or whatever. And we're going to be, doing an all-day event there. It's going to be phenomenal. Huge party. And if you didn't go to the highest of stakes 731 party, then you don't know how big they party in London. It was phenomenal. I mean, it was a huge smash. Richard was there, of course, so it was even bigger than big. But I'm 100% positive he won't be in London this time. But we will have a monster party with all the Hexicans in the area converging and people coming from the States too. So if you haven't got your tickets, go to pulsechaintour.com, get your tickets, get your VIP event, come hang out with us, afterwards and do the VIP dinner with us and get to bond with the leadership that's on the PulseChain tour and out in Europe. And, you don't want to miss it because this may be a one-time event. And then Vegas is going to be the big draw after that. So check it out. PulseChainTour.com, guys.
London's more exciting than Vegas to me. Maybe I'll check that one out. Europe's a good time. What's the date for the London one?
That's July 20th. July 20th will be the London one.
Okay. So about a month-ish.
Yeah, about a month-ish. Yeah.
Good.
And we'll be live streaming it too. So you can go, if you guys don't know, on the PulseChain Tour website, we have a live stream. So you can see the Amsterdam live stream. You go in there and you get a little subscription and you can go watch any of those events. And I believe his name is Maria, the Tropa Dev, is going to be speaking at the event. So if you go to pulsechaintour.com/live, you can check that out. And there's a lot of people there in Amsterdam to see Maria speak about what he's doing with the Atropa system and whatnot. And so if you want to see it, you can actually go to pulsechaintour.com/live and get a subscription to watch it. It's actually happening right now, and Steady Pup is going to be there, and Markable will be speaking too. What time is it? Oh, Money Gang and Hexy, they're all speaking. Hexy Bastard. SJ, how many more hours until you guys start? She's dropping me messages, so she's obviously watching this. It's 5:45 a.m. so they're at 9, right? So in 3 hours. Yes. So in 3 hours, anybody who's interested, I know here in the States, it's going to be rough for us, but you can go to pulsechaintour.com and see all those speakers and watch the Atropa Dev do his thing too. 10 o'clock is going to be the live. So that's in 4 hours.
Wow. That's going to be a long night.
Yeah, it'll be a long night. I can see it anyway. So yeah. And of course if you get the subscription, it records, so it'll be up there for you to watch it anytime if you want to watch it. And yeah, Dorsey, it was my jacket says 741 party. The highest of stakes people screwed up and put 741 instead of the 731. So it was they messed the information up on that one. So yeah, but it was still a great party. And there was a lot of things that went wrong. one of the most embarrassing moments I've ever had was when I was yelling at this crowd, trying to. I was called up on stage to do a quick, presentation, and we were in this room. The acoustics were horrible, and they turned the speakers around the wrong way. So the speaker was hearing the speakers, and the people that were out there couldn't hear it. So they were partying and dancing and cutting up and talking, and the speakers would just listen to themselves. So it was like nobody was paying attention. Like, what the hell's going on here? So one of my angry moments, and it looked bad. It was bad. It was horrible.
Probably worse to you than it was to other people. Like, probably you remember it more than anybody else does. I could almost.
Oh yeah, definitely. Richard was there too, going, I don't know what happened. Did great. I said, no, it's horrible. Nobody was listening. But it was, same with Kinetics got up there and said something, and it just, the acoustics were horrible. We had that issue. We had a few issues there. The 741 thing where they put the wrong numbers. But yeah, there was some other stuff that went down at that was just, but it was still a great time. We had great people there. Everybody was, reeling. Everybody was excited. It was the first time everybody got to really meet with each other. It was incredible, man. What an awesome time.
So are you going to be in London yourself, Captain?
Yeah. So I'll be, I'm obviously not Amsterdam. I'll be flying out there to meet everybody for the cruise in Venice in 2 weeks. And then from Venice, I will send my family back home, and then I'm going to trip over to Portugal and take care of some business for myself there, and do a PulseChain tour presentation there in Lisbon. And then from Lisbon, I'll be going to Munich, Germany. We'll be doing a presentation there. And then from Germany, I may head out to Malta to handle some business there. I may, and then off to London for the party. And there's Crypto Stylist, best party ever. That's where I actually got to meet Crypto Stylist. She was at the 741 party, and she helped us a lot working on Web3 and the company that she used to work with, and how interested all these people were in PulseChain at the time with Web3 projects. And that's something I'm excited about, is to see, where crypto takes the internet itself in this next iteration, because now we have everything's kind of fallen into place. AI, crypto, Web3, all of these things are kind of falling into place for the next iteration of the internet, the next interactive iteration of the internet. And all these things are going to need to kind of fall into place together in order to give us that experience that we're all really looking for. The flying car, I guess, of the internet that we've all been waiting for. It started out with, just email and then placeholder. I mean, gosh, I know a lot of people out there are too young to remember the .com boom, but literally web pages with no tabs on them, with just placeholders, were worth millions of dollars within days. Pets.com. It was like, wow, this thing's the money was coming into it like crazy, and nobody knew what it was. It was literally just a placeholder. It was a meme website, is what it was, and it went nuts. It went crazy, and that was everybody getting excited about the internet, and that's what's about to happen again. We've got Web3, art, decentralization of all these different things now. When Napster came out, it was like, peer-to-peer downloading and all this weird stuff. But there was this hint of us taking control, even though it wasn't the right time, wasn't the right place, wasn't the right product. But we started to get glimpses of, wow, we can take control of the internet now. There's freedom here. There's things that can happen here that couldn't happen before. And that was the wonder. I remember Napster was just like wonderment. It was like, wow, you know, all this music is out there and we could, you know, and because the internet had stifled that, you know, before you can make we used to make cassette tapes of whatever we wanted. Listen to the radio and make a cassette tape. And it's like, hey, nobody could stop us from handing party mixtapes to everybody. Right. You know, that was like a freedom. And then the internet came and it like shut everything down. Like you didn't have access to anything anymore. You had to do this. And then Napster came and it was like this freedom again. So I think that's kind of where we're at. We're at this horizon where things are about to change and move and develop and move us into a more freer, interactive space on the internet, and take us to the next iteration of it. So it's exciting times. It really is. And that's what. So I was grateful for Crypto Stylist, kind of giving me a vision of those people that were out there building and doing these things and interested. I mean, I went to Ferrari and all of these other places where they were just reeling about crypto and Web3 and but it just wasn't there yet. I think we're close. I think we're really close.
Soon.
Yep.
But it is pretty crazy now. Like the things that we have, like the concept of I can watch TV on my telephone is still amazing to me. Right now, I'm probably 500 miles north of anything that you guys would call civilization. And I'm on the internet, on my cell phone, talking to you guys. I'm using a hotspot to do my crypto stuff, like, on multiple computers that can all run through my cell phone. It's pretty freaking amazing. So to say that, crypto is connecting to this new technology and that's going to be the money of the future is like a pretty encouraging thought to me.
Yeah.
Hey, Fast Abdul, real quick. That tiny home is badass.
Sorry, could you say again?
That tiny home is badass.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, that's nice little shed.
You know what?
Go ahead, Kelly. Tell us.
I'm gonna tell you guys something. If they were to say, they were gonna say, hey, which they have in some places, we don't require KYC. There is no KYC required. However, you can KYC if you want. They KYC. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's just a mindset that we've all been there. You know what I mean? So it's just like, just takes a whiff of this to find out, and then for people just to realize that, they do, it's not even required. It's not even required.
People will scan their irises for $20. So, it doesn't take much. Somebody tells them it's safer to KYC. They tell them they get $50 if they KYC. Like, I think it is. The bar is very low for what you have to do to get people to KYC. But, we'll see what happens.
Are you talking like getting a free burger for when you get a shot? Maybe you guys get that or not. I'm not sure.
I got it.
The biggest thing that I like about crypto is the freedom, and Fast Abdul is showing that right now. That's what it's all about, being able to go out and do anything you want and not have any limits.
Yep. Yeah, the crypto moves with you, right? Like, internet is freaking everywhere. Elon's got his satellites up. Like, you could do crypto in Alaska or the North Pole or the South Pole. Like, in the next 10 years, it'll just be like literally everywhere. So yeah, now's the time to build your legacy. Now's the time to get ready. Yep. If you can work in the space, which not everybody can do, and that's okay, then obviously you're not tied down to any locale. And in fact, there's the concept of like the nomad capitalist thing. I remember Kelly said something about that. Like, you can farm out your your income to other countries where you're going to pay less tax on your crypto. United States, they got Puerto Rico, but like for, if you're not an American, you can move to Portugal and pay less tax on your crypto. There's so many choices out there, and crypto really opens it up. So to have PulseChain be decentralized and available for us now to get in so early, I really see that as like the legacy building freedom move right now.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And there was a time I was a Marine. So, my grandfather's a Marine, World War II, father's Vietnam, the whole thing. And, so I found that, leaving the country, distasteful to me, and then when Puerto Rico, came up, and I went out there and looked at it. And of course it wasn't a viable solution for us at the time, with the family that we have. I was still looking to change the situation that, unfortunately the powers that be here have put on those of us in this space. So I thought it was, something that I wouldn't really venture into, especially not relinquishing my citizenship or anything like that. But there's options now. And there's some countries out there that are giving better options, and allowing dual citizenship and golden visas and things like that. So there's options to, other than giving up your citizenship and doing something that drastic. But you got to, money, what is it? Money goes where it's treated best. Right. So, that's, I think that, this country, has a long way to go, but it should really consider, its treatment of people in the space, because it could be beneficial if they did.
Here's a really cool thought too. Think of cryptocurrency as being to where you don't have to worry about citizenships anymore. That you're a citizen of the world instead of a country.
The problem with that is militaries. Costa Rica does well with it. But the reason that the US dollar is what it is because of the US military. It has absolutely nothing to do with how great the country is or how much money it is or what it produces or how bitchin' and cool we all are. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the military and its prowess in the world and what it means to the world that way. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. I mean, we've amassed a military that is stronger than the top 10 runner-up countries put together. I mean, that's how important it is. So having a country somewhere and hey, let's go kumbaya on an island or whatever. Let's go buy Madagascar or whatever we want to do. That'd be great, but you got a bunch of rich people living out there without a military, and building one is difficult. And so there's going to have to be some type of safe haven, I guess, figured out. But I've heard Richard talk about it, building some type of a commune community, Hexico, they call it, But I'd consider it.
I think if you can make it in crypto, you can build your own private Hexico. You don't have to necessarily, commune up, so to speak, like hippie style.
Yeah. And I mean, I'm talking about, it's funny. It always ends up coming to this. So it's like, God, I hate my government. I want to get out of it. Taxation, blah, 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 blah. You live in America, or you live in a first world country. You've got roads, you've got hospitals, you've got police, you've got fire, you've got all these things that were afforded to you. You've got a mail system, you've got an internet system, a communication system. Like, go to a third world country and look at their wiring on the streets. Like, you go to Thailand and it looks like Somebody's going to die at any minute just walking down the street because of the electrical grid that they have there. Now,
it is worse. It's crazy. It's insane.
it's great. You just see some guy shimmy up the pole and hook a wire up to his building, you know, and that's it. And that's how, and it's over years and years and years. And this stuff is just like, I am not kidding. I've seen tons, like literal tons of wire hanging off of a side of a building or a pole. But anyway, I digress. So we see all these beautiful things we have, but that they're too oppressive to us. I pay too much money in taxes. And then we say, well, I want to be separated from it and I want to start my own. And then that's where the problems start happening again. You need roads. You can't just go buy an island. Like we were looking at islands at the top, guys, at the top, there are a bunch of us that were looking at some island property, right? Mm-hmm. And you could buy an island for $3 to $9 million. There was, you know, some of them were 23 million, 35 million, not out of the question for some big bag holders, right? So it was like, okay, let's get an island. But this island doesn't have a dock, doesn't have power, doesn't have water, doesn't have anything. It's like you can talk all you want, but if you go there, you're marooned, right? So now you got to figure out a way to build infrastructure. You got to figure out a way to keep people there. Then you got to figure out how to tax people so that you can, hey, I'm not going to give you guys all this shit for free, right? So now you're back in the same old situation. You just created what was created for you where you lived anyway. But, you know, it's kind of a round robin. There's nothing new under the sun. People want all this cool bitchin' stuff, but they end up in the same situation that they've always been in, you know?
How much do you have to pay for a clean gas station bathroom? What's the cost of that?
That may never happen.
Sure. As a woman, like travel, things like that are more important than they are for men, right? So like I've traveled a lot. I've taken my wife with me to India and Thailand and Vietnam and stuff. It's a lot easier for me to pee on a bush than it is for her. So, you know, the infrastructure, the cleanliness we have in North America and Europe, and, you know, it's hard to get that some places where there's no taxes and no laws.
Yep.
I got to get going, guys. I got some other stuff I got to do, and I have an early morning. It's good to get on and see everyone again.
Thanks for coming by, Robert, and thanks for everything you do, bud.
Yeah, indeed.
Good to meet
Have
you,
a great
Robert.
night.
See you later, Robert.
Kelly, nice to meet you. See you guys later.
See you around.
All right. And then there were three. Everybody, this is your show. I know we've been going for 2 hours. If anybody wants to come in, I will throw it in the chat here.
I got to give it to you, RG3, for doing this for all these years.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It's a thankless job, and every time I get one, I appreciate it. I really do. I get more shit for doing it than praise, so I appreciate that. I felt it's necessary to have, you know, I guess my voice out there because of my diversity of skills, knowledge, wisdom, the places I've been. Because I see that there's a vacuum here in this space for leadership, and
It really is.
Not necessarily the leader you would ask for, but the one you deserve. And you know, my number one criticism to all of those people out there who are part of this community, who are trying, who do want, is to continue to look at themselves and don't point the fingers at anybody else. You know, what are you doing? What can you do to be better? How are you making this place better? How are you distributing your skills? How are you contributing your skills? If you want this to grow, if you just want to be there and listen and learn, that's fine too. We have a lot of those people too, and that's okay. But if you do want to lean in and start to be part of, you know, what are you doing? What skills do you have, or what do you need to learn, or what do you see? Where do you see a void, and how can you fill it? You know, and quit the finger pointing and quit going after other people that are building things and trying to make things happen. You know, Don't focus on them. Focus on what you can do, and do that. You know, I see a lot of people clout chasing by acting like crabs in a bucket and trying to laugh at people when they fall down. You know, pointing a finger and laughing, and then taking it one step further and attacking them. You know, and doing exactly what was done to Richard in the beginning, which was attacking with no reason whatsoever to do so. If somebody makes a mistake and does something wrong or builds something that breaks, then you've got to let them fix that. And if you invested in it, if you got involved in it, that's on you. You got to realize that this is the wild, wild west. We have people learning new skills of development in a space that has never existed before. DeFi has never existed like this before. The ability to go out and build and make new things has never existed in this fertile of a ground. And so there's going to be mistakes. There's going to be trips. There's going to be, scams. There's going to be all kinds of stuff. So you need to really evaluate what it is that you're doing in this space. If you're investing in all of these things and you're getting yourself ripped off, you don't have anyone to get mad at but yourself. You know the assets that you should be involved in that are solid assets. And even those are down 90%. Mm-hmm. So, you don't have the right to tell anybody or call anybody anything else, especially if somebody makes a mistake. They show their face, they admit to their mistake, and they try and fix their mistake in public right there, real time with everybody. That is something that I don't understand why people in this community are still going after folks that are even publicly showing that, hey, I made a mistake. This is what I did. This was happening. This is how we're fixing it. And still get lambasted for being something that they're not, which is a scammer. Maybe they made a mistake, but if you invested, it's your fault.
Well, thank goodness for Kai Raider, the Forge coming. Well, it's here now. So
yeah, that'll be interesting. Get some new stuff, get some oversight on projects and some support for projects so they have people to ask questions to, right? Like, so that they don't have to, because becoming a developer is there's not really a book on how to do that. So these guys are kind of making a book that new people with the inspiration and, the intellect to pull it off, they have a place to start. And I think that's fantastic.
Yeah. And I think that between that project, the PulseChain Foundation, we really have a good start. I mean, look, they just got on MEXC.
Yeah.
And so work's being done, work's being done. And it's in a bear market. That's what I like to see, is work being done in the bear market, because that those wins are going to be exponential when we do hit the bull market. That is going to be exponentially valuable to us down the road. It may not be proving it's, and that's another thing I think everybody should understand. Like, for instance, we launched the movie, and as the bear market was coming, we launched a freaking movie, guys. We made a movie about the Richard Heart ecosystem and people within it. We made a crypto movie that has never been made before about the community. Nobody's even had a positive movie about crypto. It's always been about who died, who killed who stole everybody's money, who's in jail, all of this crap, and we did it. We had we put out a good product, a good movie, and it's done in a style and in a flair that I haven't seen anywhere else. So people criticized it and said, "Oh, it didn't do nothing, didn't pump our bags. That was a waste. That was a waste of money and time and effort." No, it wasn't. There is a movie out about this community that, when attention does come to it, when people are going in there and searching these platforms for a crypto movie, and there is one that's positive about Hex and what was going on here, and there's history, and people can go back and see the history, it will be valuable, and people will watch it more. I mean, we still got people watching it, whatnot, but it's there forever. It's done. It's going to be part of the system, just like, all of these other things that are being done. They may not reap rewards right now, but they will be exponentially valuable when the bull market comes. And that's what people need to understand, that people are working and doing things in this bear market, not to scam people, not to bilk Hexicans, but to allow everybody the opportunity to participate and be part of, and to, give during the time that it's needed, which is the bear market, because all of these things that we do now, not keeping idle hands, they're going to reap rewards down the road.
Yeah, no, agreed. I'm thinking about that London party there, Captain. That sounds like a good time.
Yeah, that's going to be the party of all parties for the PulseChain tour. They I don't know what it is about London. I don't like cold. I don't like rain. I don't like dreary. I don't like cities. I like beaches. I told myself, I've got friends who want me to go on Alaska cruise and, hey, come up to Tahoe. Like, no, I'm too old. I'm going to go and visit every beach on the world until I'm done. And then maybe I'll go to some cold places. But for now, it's about beaches and sunshine for me. So, but something about London, something about that place. I don't know if it's a past life and that place is magical to me. But when I got to London, man, I just fell in love with that town. I just love it. So it's a lot of fun for me. And I can't wait to get back there.
Cool. London's a really, like, for all the Americans, Canadians, etc. out there, London's one of the easiest places to fly to in the world. It has like 3 major airports. Everything hubs through London. It's like you can be New York to London in 5 hours. Like there's a lot of ways to get to London for pretty cheap. It's actually, like, last time I went to London, I think it only cost me like $600 or something. It's not that big a deal. Now, once you get there, your hotel may also cost $600. That's the downside. But getting there is not going to be that hard. So, yeah.
I got first class tickets. Got to sleep in the bed and everything. That was and it wasn't that expensive on that in that case either. It was considering what a lot of first class tickets going overseas are. They're ridiculously expensive.
Oh yeah.
But there's nothing like going in there, going to sleep and waking up and being there.
Yeah. Being able to actually lie flat
in a bed.
Sitting up, like, with your shoulders like this, right? Like, if you're like
somebody sleeping on you for 14 hours.
Oh, totally. Yeah. The last time I flew, cattle class, like, was so terrible. There was like this big man beside me, and halfway through the flight, he decided to take his shirt off because he was too hot. It was terrible. I didn't, like, never again, like, it's,
oh man,
it's pretty hard. Like, when you're flying with your family, like, it's pretty hard, like, buying like 2 business class tickets or first class. It's like, okay, but buying 5, like, for, like, 3 children is, gets kind of ridiculous. Right. So I end up, when I'm going with my family, I always end up in the back of the plane. And I think hopefully crypto can change that for me.
the private jet credits, right?
Oh, totally. Even just like the business class is good enough. Like, if I have like a seat that will go flat, it doesn't have to be a bed. I don't have to have I don't have to have a private room on the airplane. But if I can lay flat and not have somebody touching me, that's a benchmark that I'd like to hit consistently. It's on the big flights too. Like, when it's 12 hours, when you're going to India or Australia or something like that, 12, 18 hours, like, yeah, you got to be able to freaking lie down.
Yeah. Real quick, I'll throw this up. Derek says the Forge NFTs dropping next week. So I guess they're getting ready to launch those NFTs. So those are the Forge NFTs, which gives you, say-so power there in the system. And some like tokens too. Like, when new projects come out, I think the NFT holders get tokens, right? Yeah, they'll get tokens.
Cure token, CURE, cure.
Okay,
yes.
Cool.
Yes,
I may or may not purchased 50 of said Forge NFTs.
Yeah.
I think there's a play there. There's a play there.
Yeah,
There
there's a there.
Yeah, the NFTs will be dropping. It looks like next week. I don't think they'll have all the rounds sold out, but they will be dropping the NFTs at least. So
Nice.
yeah, everybody's excited about that.
I feel
On
like
the
this
21st.
is the launch pad for PulseChain. There's been several launch pads on PulseChain. Like in theory, there's at least 3 right now, but like I think this is the one personally. That's not financial advice. It's just from what I've seen when I've looked at the founders and I've seen, do they show up for work? Are they reaching out to the influencers? Are they actively pursuing business? This is the one that is doing that. Like Mark, I believe his name is. He was reaching out to like well-known PulseChain personalities before he'd even launched the idea for the protocol, right? Like the guy is freaking on it. So I feel like this is the one that is going to make it. But
Yep.
it is crypto. Anything could happen, but I do feel very, very strong about this one right now.
Yep. And when you said that, it made me cringe because everybody comes to me before they, everybody has come to me about this and that. And I've had to pass on most everything because I just have too much going on, too many things coming.
Yeah.
And I should have listened. I should have listened to a few of them. That's for sure. But yeah, definitely excited about the Forge. They're looking like they're going to be putting a really cool decentralized launch pad. And like you said, launch pads have a bad connotation because of, back in the day, what a lot of the times they look like, where it was a pay to play kind of scenario. It looks like they put all the safeguards in place to make sure that's not what this is. This is completely different. This is a checks and balances, and it's not a pay to play spot at all. So,
and the checks and balances are from community members, right? Which is one of the cool things. Like they've asked people in the community, like people that, like, if you're watching right now, the people who are participating to be the moderators, to be the checks and balances within the Cyrator community on PulseChain, like the ones who are approving, yes, this project can go forward, are people that you probably know, right? Who have like kind of skin in the game, but more reputation in the game than anything. And I think that's kind of a stroke of genius that might make this thing work.
Yeah.
So this thing is like a human algo, and we can all review. We do 5 reviews and we become an analyst. Like you can do that now. Yeah. You don't need an NFT. Just go contribute if you don't, however.
And you get paid to be an analyst? Like, is there
way to earn more?
On that?
Huh?
Do you get paid to be an analyst if you do that, if you keep making reviews?
You get more cure tokens is how I understand it. It is a good thing to go and get involved in. And not only that, but you want to learn to really be good at curating. And it's not really much of it is a launch pad, but it didn't start out, as we know, as a launch pad. It started out as a vetting thing. And it's been going on for years. Go check the website. You'll find everything in there. Yep. Yeah. So they have so much experience, but the launch pad is like the second thought, idea that came out of it. And it's one of the most exciting things outside of GiffTEC.
Yeah. And I really like Mark. I really like Mark. So you're a gearhead.
I'm a gearhead.
Yeah, you're a gearhead. Right on. We're excited about it too. Cool. One last real quick thing before we get rolling, and I'll let you guys say something. I wanted to. So SJ is getting ready to go do her thing, but she's, if you guys don't know who SJ is, she is the PulseChain princess. Positivity princess, who has been the person. She took on Sci-Vive. She started reading Richard Hart's Sci-Vive. She took it on. She started doing audiobook basically, and saw that it was in desperate need of being edited. They got the thing edited and revised and done, and through Richard and everything. But she's learned a lot about him, and I just wanted to. She kind of wanted to chime in here, but she's getting busy and ready to go. But she said that she wanted to know that some facts about Richard and her understanding of him through going through Sci-Fi for so long and working with him on it. She said he's constantly talking on X and he's fighting for true DeFi against the SEC. She thinks that he is spending most of his time studying how best to defeat the SEC with his team while working on projects with his devs in the background. Facts. You can tell from his tweets, he's spending time learning how to best leverage AI and continue to teach us about the best forms of outbound messaging and marketing to promote the products. He's always dropping breadcrumbs and hints out there, even though he hasn't been super active at streaming and whatnot. She thinks that crypto is just a stepping stone on his way to creating a real life Hexaco. And there will be so much more will be known for him besides him from fixing the money. And that's a great start. So that's SJ's take on Richard and what's going on from her knowledge of him, working with him and doing Sci-Fi. So, and I agree. I think that's, kind of what Richard wants to do and would like to do. He's got a long way to go, and crypto's got a long way to go. So we'll see how it all turns out. But any last words, you guys, before I kick it off?
Well, great show, Captain. I think it's good to have these events where, we're just talking about stuff that's going on, and it's not specific to, like any particular project or thing, but just like how people are feeling and what's going on. And to get people to come up, I think more people should, when there's an opportunity to come up on the screen, just do it, guys. Like, even if it's just like for 15 minutes, you don't have to stay up here for 2 hours like we are. Like, just come up for 15 minutes and let people know that there's real people out there who are in the community, who are participating. Like it's important to have opportunities like this for the community to come together and, meet each other and figure out that we're real people. So thanks for that, Captain. I appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Kelly.
I'll copy him. I like what he's saying.
Well, and thanks for coming. It was great having you here. It really was. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Probably no chatting, but maybe an effing before I head out, and we'll see you then. Take care.
Take care.